In the year 427 of the Third Era, a monk of Dibella, known as Chipmunk, proved himself to be the Nerevarine and brought an end to Dagothar's foul blight. He then traveled to Cyrodiil, sensing the mages there needed the help of one not so magically inclined adventurer. He slew Mannimarco and became Cyrodiil's newest archmage. Unfortunately, this quest saw him fall to the curse of vampirism. As sexy as vampires are, Chipmunk knew it was more of a niche thing. Curing the vampirism was tricky, and it sent him back in time for some reason, back to his grandfather's homeland, Daggerfall. One thing led to another, and he caused the warp in the west, as you do. Being the Nerevarine, and immortal, he spent the next decade and a half wandering, providing his monkey services to the itinerant priests of the Abessian shore. And when he finally returned to 3E433, he got arrested. A holy man he is, but he ain't no saint. You see, it's not stealing if you don't get caught, but he did get caught. And that's how we got here. Initial timeline Chipmunk is out there, somewhere, becoming Archmage. This Chipmunk, he's gotta serve his time.
This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Oh, Deus Ex Machina. Excellent. I think we all know the story at this point. The Emperor saw us in his dreams. No surprise, since we've been instrumental in his life multiple times at this point. We found his letter in Daggerfall, and after that, he will sent us to Vardenfell, and surely he heard of Chipmunk the Archmage. No, wait, that's happening now. But his dreams are prophetic, so maybe he... Listen, it's not surprising for Chipmunk to be in the dreams of everyone he's met. It's just the nature of a monk of Dibella, baby. So all the Emperor's sons are dead. He's got no heir, except for the plugs he got between Daggerfall and now. The Blades are escorting him out of the capital through an emergency tunnel through Chipmunk's cell. He's voiced by Patrick Stewart.
I am your Emperor, Auriel Septim.
So he should stick around for a while. I debated making a general video about the Oblivion Remaster, check out the site, see what changed, maybe slice up streams into highlights, but I realized that's not quite my style. Instead, we'll beat Oblivion as a monk, a practitioner of the not-so-hidden fist, and talk about the changes along the way. The biggest change, and it's a subtle one so you may not have noticed, is the graphics are improved from the 2006 release of Oblivion. They must have upscaled the textures, I guess. But seriously, where the game looks good, it looks great. Hair is a bit... maybe it looks better on max settings. This isn't the highest settings, by the way. This game loves to fight OBS for resources. It's ridiculous. Perhaps my favorite change is the health bar. Enemy health bars, that is. A massive problem with old Oblivion was how misleading those health bars were. You could swing at an enemy 3 times, drain 80% of their health bar, and then swing another 10 times without seeing so much as a pixel's worth of movement. It was annoying. The way the health ticks down, the little color change before the health actually drains, it just feels good. It lets me know exactly how much damage I'm doing. Proportionally, at least. And the impact reactions from the NPCs are a nice touch. Makes attacks feel more weighty. Gives them more oomph. The combat changes aren't just limited to the UI, to the animations, and to player feedback, however. Fatigue operates more like it does in Skyrim. In Old Oblivion, the amount of fatigue you had affected how much damage you dealt. Now, fatigue is more of an active resource. You needed to perform power attacks, to sprint, and yeah, you could sprint now, and to block without being staggered. It's more action-oriented. Another great change is that you can hold down the attack button and you'll attack repeatedly. First, you'll use consecutive power attacks, then you'll just do consecutive normal punches. Much better than spamming the mouse button hundreds of times per enemy. I am a little disappointed in the hand-to-hand sneak power attack though. It's no longer a swift poke in the bum. Today's sponsor is a book series, Songs of Chaos by Michael R. Miller. Narratively Spurious Cyborg hasn't read it, so he doesn't feel comfortable talking about it. He's supposed to be me from the future, but he's busy. Songs of Chaos is a fantasy series about a servant boy, Holt Cook, who defies society and rescues a blind dragon before its egg is culled. There's a way things should be, and that dragon isn't part of it. Together, these two outcasts embrace their daredevil-like powers to fight off hordes of undead and uncover mystical, world-altering secrets. If you grew up reading Christopher Paolini's Aragon series, then you'll enjoy Songs of Chaos. The Ascendant audiobook is currently in a monthly sale for $7.99, more than 60% off. And it's narrated by Peter Kenny, who also narrated the Witcher series. And you know what I never hear when people talk about this series? Holt and his dragon have a boy and his dog dynamic. It's very endearing. If you're interested in this series, there's no better time to get started than now, because the next book, Reckoning, is set to release in September of this year. The series is available in paperback, hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. And you can use the link in the description or in the pinned comment to get the audiobook of Ascendant for only $7.99. Birth sign time. What's optimal is irrelevant, for we cannot choose the sign under which we are born. Chipmunk's a lover, born under the sign of the lover. Few appreciate tasteful underboob more than Chipmunk. Being born under this sign grants the lover's kiss greater power. Once per day, at the cost of 120 points of fatigue, we can give our target a kiss and paralyze them for 10 seconds. So enraptured with our affection, they become rigid with excitement. Looking for a little peck on the cheek, assassin? Oh, it's untouched. No shit. Well, Uriel, looks like it's the end of the road. Ooh, new animations. Fun.
You chose
My punch made him vanish. Oh, no, he's behind me. Boris has some wicked eyelashes. The glory of playing as a monk is that we don't need to make any real choices. The class is already pre-made for us. Acrobatics, alteration, athletics, hand-to-hand, marksman, security, and sneak. We won't be using marksman though. This remaster did make some significant changes to leveling. In Old Oblivion, once you get 10 levels across your major skills, you can go to sleep and ascend another character level. And then you can allocate attribute points across 3 attributes. The amount of points you get is determined by what skills you leveled up over the course of your previous level. To get the most attribute points, you would need to get 10 levels across at least 3 different skills, each governed by a different attribute. So 10 acrobatics levels, 10 mysticism levels, and 10 sneak levels would grant 5 attribute points to speed, intelligence, and agility. The design encourages not using your major skills. With fully optimal play, achieving 5 points in 3 attributes every single character level would get you 150 attributes after 10 level ups. Non-optimal play, you'd probably get like 2 or 3 points per attribute per level, maybe. After 10 levels, you might get 90 attributes. Because the world is scaled with you, you could find yourself at a severe disadvantage, being level 11 with 40% fewer attributes than you could have had. The remaster fixes this. Not only do all skills contribute to your character level, with majors simply leveling faster, but you get a set amount of points to allocate each level up, no matter what skills you trained. We'll discuss that more when we actually level up. With these changes, I think we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we went with the typical major skills only approach. We're not going to grind out a bunch of nonsense skills like Blade or Blunt, but we won't shy away from, say, Alchemy for money, or Mercantile for money. Enough dawdling. Let's get this shirt off and deliver the Amulet of Kings to Wayne Priory. The amulet is needed to relight the dragon fires that protect Nirn from Daedric invasion. But for the dragon fires to stay lit, a dragonborn emperor must sit on the throne and relight them with the amulet itself. All of Uriel's Septims' heirs were killed, except for one. He had secreted away, so we gotta find him. But there's an upgrade we need first. When Chipmunk became the Archmage, or what he's doing right now becoming the Archmage, we should avoid running into him actually. The only light armor he could use was his Colovian fur helm. Monks don't have light armor as a major skill in Oblivion, and the run was predicated on using major skills only. I made an exception for the helm, so I didn't actually get this next item we're going for. I realize now, limiting myself that much is kind of like putting a hat on a hat. Major skills only is unnecessary rules that don't really add much to the run. All that is to say, we're going to use light armor. We're still going to be shirtless though. Torso fabric restricts the guns, but bracelets do not. In the Arena District of the Imperial City, just near the sparring Branwen and Salith, is their very hard lock chest. Now the remaster did change the lockpicking a little bit, but I'm still pretty good at it, so this ain't a problem. Easy. The bands of Quang Lao fortify our hand-to-hand by 20 points. Our hand-to-hand is only about 30 right now, so this is a significant upgrade. And even if they break, they still impart the buff. And before leaving, we watch these two fight for a bit and get 5 permanent levels to hand-to-hand. Back on the main quest grind, we head to Wayne Priory with Amulet in hand, as the Emperor bid us to do, and hand it off to Joffrey, the Empire's preeminent security expert. He'll make sure nothing happens to the amulet. He'll place it somewhere safe, somewhere under constant surveillance, perhaps in a locked wooden chest made of impenetrable wood. Yeah, that'll work. He informs us that he and he alone, now that the Emperor's dead, knows the whereabouts of Uriel's secret son. He's in the city of Kvatch, working as a priest. I wonder who his mother is. Ooh, do you think Uriel Septim had her killed to keep the secret? Well, no helping it now. To Kvatch!
Come on, run while there's still time.
Jesus Christ. They ain't potatoes anymore, but damn if these faces aren't more unsettling. And you know, I think it works for high elves. They should look weird. Pretty elves are boring.
I'm getting out of here before it's too late. They'll be here any minute, I'm telling you. Run while you can!
It's still the same game under all these layers of paint. While we run up this hill, let's talk a bit about magic in the remaster. You no longer get a set amount of XP per cast. Instead, the XP is proportional to how much magicka the spell costs. This means Alteration, the one spell school monks have as a major, will actually be useful beyond the weak 5% shield spell we start with. See, on Chipmunk's quest to become Archmage, we didn't use any magic because it took too long to level. Why bother spending hours training Alteration when the benefit is just slightly reduced damage? Why waste time grinding? If Chipmunk's not in the club, what's the point? Now, casting useful spells actually levels your skills at a reasonable rate. The training spells were useless. They wouldn't help you play the game. Now you'll actually level up effectively just by casting the useful spells. A good way to level up magic is to find a spell that depletes your magicka in a single cast. and then wait an hour to refill your magicka. Or cast the spell before you fast travel. Basically, take the MMO DPS approach. Always have your cooldowns cooling down. Always have your magicka regenerating.
Stand back, civilian. This is no place for you. Get back to the encampment at once.
I'm not going to criticize the NPCs for looking different. They're reimagined. That's fine. I don't really have much of an attachment to the appearances of most NPCs. But I will say, I do not like the facial hair. It looks weird. Is it because my settings aren't high enough? Or is that just the nature of Unreal Engine? I don't know. Oh well. Let's close this Oblivion gate. The lighting in the remaster really sells everything. This gate is gorgeous. And I like the scamp's furry Satan legs. They're actually a bit scary looking, like their eye sockets are empty. It's creepy. It works.
Captain Matthias sent us in to try and close the gate. I managed to escape, but the other... I'm gonna...
Get out of here, coward.
That's twice you've hit me!
Well then stay out of range of Alpha and Omega. You know, I never played Oblivion back in the day. I played it for the first time after Skyrim. Remember, I'm a Sky baby, and I didn't even play Skyrim until like a year after it was released. But I assume, when Oblivion was released in 2006, this is what everyone thought the Deadlands looked like. This is how you remember it. And it's still Oblivion. Our first real fight, bring it on. Yeesh. Heal with the blood pool. Heal? It's time to regenerate. What happened? Let's go for a sneak attack. Damn it. How about a little kiss? Damn it. Where's the other Churl? You know what they say. Don't mouth gift a horse. I'll circle back on that. We kill the Sigil Keeper, take its key, quickly talk to not Caius Casades, and make our way up to the peak of the central tower where we swipe the Sigil Stone. I was told jumping off the platform throws us out of the gate. I was lied to. With the gate closed, Savlian Matthias charges into the city with his men, helps us clear out the courtyard, and follows us into the chapel where we find one Martin Septim. It doesn't take much to convince Martin that he's the Emperor's son. A common theme in Oblivion's main quest is that people just trust us for some reason. Attributed to the gods, I suppose.
Help!
Whoa.
You must help. They're killing everyone at Waynon Priory.
Who?
I don't know. I think they're right behind me. Prior Maborel is dead.
I think you're just paranoid. I gotta say, I really like what they did with the Dunmer. They got a sinister look to them. They're supposed to be dark elves, remember. They're the evil elf archetype in this universe, worshipping the gods of murder and deceit, using souls to power offense, anarchy wizards, and don't forget about the less fantastical evils, like legal assassination and slavery. I suspect Morrowind doesn't get a lot of tourism. I like the visual effect on the armor when a cultist dies. It wisps away like embers from a flame. Jab, jab, uppercut. Yeah.
They attacked without warning. I was praying in the chapel when I heard Prior Maborel shout. I had just time to arm myself. The Amulet of Kings. I fear that was the target of this attack. I kept it in a secret room in Waynon House. We need to go see if it is safe.
Security through obscurity. That was your first mistake, Joffrey. Why does Chipmunk have a tan? Was he wearing a strapless dress on a beach? Yeah, well, he did spend a bit on the Striding Coast. He might have been.
They've taken it. The Amulet of Kings is gone. The enemy has defeated us at every turn.
It's as if they attacked the Priory because they knew the amulet was here somewhere. If the amulet were, say, taken to the exact place we're going to take Martin in a minute, maybe it would have been better defended. You may say that it was too dangerous to transport the amulet on such a long journey. Trouble is, it's even more dangerous to transport Martin. He's a bigger target, and once he's dead, he's dead. They can't destroy the amulet, as far as I'm aware. Martin, they can't undead him. If he's dead, that amulet's useless. What I think they should have done, what Bethesda should have done, narratively, is have had the cultists steal the amulet when they killed the Emperor, because at least at that point, it wouldn't make Joffrey look like a buffoon. And maybe have Boris give us an Imperial signet ring to signify our authority, or something. Don't put the amulet in our hands. We were able to go from the prison to Waynon Priory safely. Why couldn't we have gone from Waynon Priory to Cloudroller Temple safely? It's just silly.
True son of Auriel Septim.
Hail, Dragonborn! Hail!
Your Highness.
Sounds like they fixed these voice lines. We don't have that one NPC with reverb and warble. Kind of a shame. Okay, ready to see what leveling up looks like? We get 12 virtues to allocate across 3 attributes, up to a maximum of 5 in a single attribute. However, you can only put 1 point into luck, and if you do, it costs 4 virtues. so you could do 4-4-1 every level. We're going to go with 5 to strength and endurance, and 2 to agility. Unlike old Oblivion, endurance now affects your health retroactively. Originally, your health would be equal to twice your endurance, plus 1/10 your endurance upon level up. This incentivized you to get 100 endurance as soon as possible to not miss out on any points of health. Now, it's retroactive, so you don't have to focus on endurance immediately, but we are. It's still more health sooner. Back in the Imperial City, we meet with a pair of eyelashes that have a man attached to them. He'd violate the levitation ban if he blinked fast enough. He wants us to join him in the basement, where we are to kill a man. We've killed a man. This is what happens when you don't return your library books on time. We fill Boris in on the whole Amulet and Martin thing, and he tells us to find the other 3 volumes of Mankar Cameron's commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes. Tarmina of the Arcane University has volume 2, which she freely lets us have. She also looks like one of the dinosaurs from the 90s TV show, Dinosaurs. I don't know what it is about the remasters Argonians. They're not bad. The textures and overall detail is great, but the shape is weird. I think it's the snout. Argonians have always had teardrop-shaped heads when looking at them in profile. They didn't have a vertical forehead. It tapered from the crown of the skull to the tip of the nose. Also, I think their heads are just a touch too big. Like, maybe 10% too big? Anyway, enough commenting on this woman's appearance right in front of her. Oh, hello, Raminus.
Welcome to the Arcane University.
You're much less handsome now. Let's buy some spells. Alteration spells, that is. As I said earlier, I suspect shield will be much more useful, but the more powerful shield spells require at least 50 alteration. For an easy 500 gold, we pick the very hard-to-lock chest outside the arena and head off to Cheydinhal. Trayvon in the Mages Guild sells several different alteration spells, but we're only interested in Defend, 15% shield on self. Orintur sells stronger alteration spells, but we have neither the money nor the level to cast them. We'll come back here later if the 15% shield actually proves useful. Back in the Imperial City once again, we head to the first edition to...
The Altmer have powerful wizards. It could be a dangerous situation. See you. Be seeing you.
see if Fintius has the remaining books.
May I help you?
What's new with you?
I ran across a couple of mud crabs not long ago.
Yes?
Annoying creatures.
I can't stand the sight of those creatures.
Farewell.
He has Volume 3, but he already sold it to Grumple the Wood Elf, who's coming by to pick it up real soon. We scare him into handing over the volume by telling him the cult that wrote that book murdered the Emperor. He believes us because one look at Chipmunk striking baby blues is all it takes. Chipmunk may have to make his living with his guns, but he's most proud of his peepers. His eyes, too. Gringus also hands over his invitation to meet with the cult and get the 4th book. We descend into the sewers with Boris, a critical companion this time around, because the sewer gases are oppressive, and his lashes act as massive fans. The sneak power attack may not be as funny looking, but I love that the wind-up doesn't keep you from moving forward. One thing that irked me about Old Oblivion, well, one of the many things, was accidentally attacking again before standing up, and then being stuck in a slower animation while the enemy is pummeling you.
So, you want to become one of the chosen of Mehrunes Dagon? I have the book you seek. With it and the Master's 3 other books, you will possess the key to enlightenment.
There's
I
someone
told
else
you to come alone!
Damn it, Boris. You know, if I were alone, I'd be able to get the book and leave without all this combat.
Die, unbeliever!
The time of
Damn it,
cleansing
Boris.
is all-
Let's try this again.
So, you want to become one of the chosen of Mehrunes Dagon. You are told to sit down.
But I just gotta give you a big ol' kiss. Easy. And we take Volume 4. The fact that he had it on him proves he would have given it to us. The only reason they attack is because Boris was here, because we didn't come alone. So incompetent, these blades. At this rate, they're gonna get the Emperor killed. I believe he is what the kids call yassified. Yes, another level. We're gonna go with Strength, Speed, and Endurance. 5, 2, and 5. We should take advantage of minor skills contributing to character levels. So before we follow the secret instructions laid out in the 4 commentaries, we're gonna do some alchemy. Not only because it levels quickly, but we can sell the potions for a fair bit of gold, and get mercantile levels. The Shetcombe Farm, northeast of Kvatch, has plenty of produce, and the farmer that owns the place is dead, so he won't mind. The remaster makes looting stuff way easier. There's the item highlight, the increased click box, you can't fail to pick a corn, and crops visually disappear after you take them. Can't forget the grapes outside Skingrad. We buy a set of novice alchemy tools from Claudette Perrick in the Imperial City, and make an assload of fatigue potions. That's a real Imperial unit, by the way. There are 8 pints in a gallon, 8 gallons in a bushel, and 8 bushels in an assload. How does this convert to bramble plinths? Ah, it's very simple. So these potions aren't all that potent, and they don't sell for much, but we walk away with a total of 1600 gold. Those 200 plus potions got us 45 alchemy, and selling them got us a few mercantile levels too. Like magic, mercantile's XP was altered to scale with the magnitude of the action, rather than the number of actions. You don't have to sell things one at a time for optimal mercantile XP. With this windfall, we return to Cheydinhall's Mages Guild and buy a few more spells from Orinter, Guard and Shield, which provide 30 and 40% shield for 30 seconds each, respectively. Our alteration level isn't high enough to cast them, but we'll get there soon enough. We probably shouldn't spend too much time in the Mages Guild though, because I feel like it might cause some weird time shenanigans, time cop rules maybe. So instead, we join the Fighters Guild and sleep in their beds. My god, orcs are horrifying. Level 4, Strength, Agility, Endurance. Level 5, same distribution. And level 6. We'll take 2 points of willpower instead of agility this time for a tiny bit more magicka regen. We should probably get out of here. Chipmunk's a clever fella, and deduced the secret meaning of these 4 books. It helps that he's bereft of free will and is controlled by a being that knows exactly where he's supposed to go. At midday, we investigate the tomb of Prince Camaril, and it reveals the location of the cult's headquarters, the Lake Arias Cavern north of Cheydinhall. I hadn't talked about the hand-to-hand perks yet. See how that bandit recoiled when I blocked? That's because of the Journeyman hand-to-hand perk. Below 25 hand-to-hand, blocking with your fists won't make enemies recoil. You're unlikely to notice that it's not a baseline effect. If you took hand-to-hand as a major, your hand-to-hand is going to start at 25, giving you the Novice and Journeyman perks. And if you don't take hand-to-hand as a major, why would you be using hand-to-hand? That felt really mean. Am I the bad guy? No. Virtuos is the bad guy. They de-cheeked up the imps. Who the hell dares? The bodies jerking around when you hit them makes hand-to-hand so funny. You're just punching the shit out of people. Stabbing them would be more respectful. Join the cult or fight our way in. Oh, what a difficult choice.
Paradise awaits.
Mankar Cameron escaped and he took the amulet with him, but at least we can paralyze and pummel one of his kids to death. He left the Mysterium Xarxes behind. This could be useful. Alright, let's stroll on out of here.
Dagon walks the earth! You cannot escape the master's judgment! It's breaking! Only the chosen will survive the cleansing!
These shield spells are amazing. It's just a straight damage reduction. 15% shield, 15% less physical damage. We gotta grind up our alteration and unlock the 40% version. Before dropping the book off with Martin, we take a quick nap at Cloud Ruler Temple and ascend to level 7. Strength, willpower, and endurance. Sounds good. Martin, I've got a present for you.
By the 9.
Oh, do you already have one? While Martin gets to work decoding the arcane mysteries within the Demon Tome, Joffrey sends us down to Bruma to covertly deal with some spies. To learn more about Churl's plans, we visit our local her house. I didn't loot the key, and I have no lockpicks. We visit our not-so-local Shady Sam and buy 30 lockpicks. Unsurprisingly, the church heralds our return. We enter the house, duck into the basement, and learn that the Mythic Dawn is planning on opening up a massive Oblivion gate just outside of Bruma. But we're not going to let them. They're not even going to try to do something as, ridiculous as driving a giant drill, a giant cartoon drill, out of Oblivion and into the walls of Bruma in order to weaken the defenses at Cloud Ruler Temple. It's never going to happen. We're not... To even think that something like that could happen. What do you think? Mehrunes Dagon is just some sort of caricature? Do you think he's some sort of joke? Do you think he's some sort of clown? Nah, no way. No, he's serious. Joffrey will deal with this new information while we collect some stuff from Martin. To open a portal to Mankar Cameron's pocket dimension, he'll need a few ingredients. First is the blood of a Daedra. A Daedric artifact, that is. In a typical challenge run, you try to stay at level 1 for as long as possible and get either Azura's Star or the Wabbajack, since those two Daedric quests only require you to be level 2. But we don't have that limitation this time around, since leveling ain't all that much of a detriment in the remaster. Ooh, what Daedra are we gonna go with? Try to guess. On our way to the Mystery Shrine, we actually hit level 50 alteration, meaning we've got a new spell available to cast. Guard. 30% shield for 30 seconds at the cost of 83 magicka. Not only is this twice as powerful as defend, but because it costs more magicka, it grants more XP per cast. We may actually get to 75 alteration before the run's over. Namira, Daedric Prince of all things yucky. To summon her, we must have a personality at or below level 20. This is easy to achieve with a bit of wine. Each bottle drains our personality by 10 points for 120 seconds. These NPCs around the shrine are supposed to be disgusting individuals, and in the original game, Hrolfrodi here is pretty ugly, even by Oblivion standards. But in the remaster, I don't know, she's kinda cute. Maybe I'm weird.
You are repulsive.
The animation on her face when she says repulsive is really good, and the sneering feels visceral. I like it. That's not why I think she's cute. I'm not... forget it. Getting defensive just makes it sound worse.
You dare approach my shrine, child of light?
Namira would like us to go to the Ayleid ruin Anga and help out her worshippers there. Her Forgotten. A bunch of priests of Arcade showed up and they're making life hard for her peaceful little lovelies. We're to cast Namira's Shroud on the priests, extinguishing their torches and allowing her Forgotten to kill them.
Okay, protect me. Save me, Lord. Okay, protect me. Spider. Okay, protect me.
Light from dark. My God, no! By the light! By the light! Save me, Lord!
It must pay.
Now these miscreants can return to their squalor, free from those meddling priests. But Chipmunk, I hear you say, why would you ever want to put fellow holy men in danger? They may not worship the same divine as you, but surely siblings under the same pantheon must extend some respect to one another. That is true, but here's the thing. Chipmunk doesn't give a shit. His devotion to Dibella is less about satisfying the divines, and more about satisfying the ideals. Also, the priests of Arcade invaded the Forgotten's little lair of repugnancy, and started harassing them with torches. These priests are dicks. Namira rewards us with her ring, the Ring of Namira, which provides 10% spell reflect and 12% damage reflect. A great ring. We feed it to Martin, and then take a nap, ascending to level 8. Strength, willpower, endurance. We're getting a lot of levels. Now it's time to show the Bruma Guards how to close an Oblivion Gate. They're a bunch of greenhorns, Captain Bird and his crew, but they're bringing along some weapons and armor to make up the difference.
We're ready when you are.
I don't care for Bird's redesign. The voice doesn't match the face. This remaster has made me realize that I didn't actually hate Oblivion Gates. I hated combat. Oblivion Gates have a pseudo-puzzle maze element to them, but solving a puzzle is never fun when you're being attacked by a bunch of enemies, so you'd want to kill everything first, to get them out of the way. The problem was the scaling. Everything in the game was a damage sponge, doubly so in the Oblivion Gates, because it's a bunch of Daedra. Rather than fighting everything, you'd try zerging through the towers, hoping to accidentally make it to the top before they killed you. It usually worked, but it turned what was supposed to be a fun little diversion into a panicky slog. Now, combat actually feels pretty good. The health bar actually moves. I don't hate being here. Apparently, higher difficulties feel more unfair, especially since they changed the difficulty slider into discrete tiers. But I find the default difficulty to be the most enjoyable anyway, so I don't care about expert and master.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. So far, so good. So far, so good.
So far, so good. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
You can still reroll sigil stones, by the way. Save before it spawns in your inventory, check what effects you have on the stone, and reload if you want something different. I reloaded a couple times and got Fortify Agility, 8 points. We'll put that on a pair of pants. My biggest problem with the remaster is probably some of the UI navigation. If I want to enchant something, I have to highlight it, then slide the cursor off the item without hovering over a different item. Otherwise, I'll enchant the newly highlighted item. Maybe I'm dumb and there's actually a keybind to place the cursor focus on the name box, but I couldn't find it. There's a keybind to enchant, but not a keybind to name. With Bruma in Bird's safe hands, and 2 in the bush, Martin needs us to... It didn't make any sense. Martin needs us to collect the blood of an Aedra to go along with the Ring of Namira, the blood of a Daedra. He suggests the armor of Tiber Septim, a relic Joffrey should know more about. Yeah, too close, but thanks for the key. The lore of Sancre Tor is far from a bore. Learn more of this lore, this thing, I implore. But it's full of ghosts, which we cannot punch without 50 hand-to-hand. Even though the bands of Quang Lao fortify our level above 50, we don't gain access to the perk that allows our fists to bypass normal weapon immunity. My first thought was to do a bit of alchemy, sell the potions, and use the money to buy training. Speed the process up, you know? But training is expensive, and Chipmunk could only afford 4 training sessions, leaving us at level 46. But perhaps we can get the last few levels on our way into Sancre Tor by fighting the skellies outside Sancre Tor. Well, that wasn't enough. Chipmunk used to be a pit fighter back in the day, if you didn't know. What's the harm in donning the raiment once again, just for a little bit of exercise? It chafes his nips like crazy, but rules is rules. You gotta wear the raiment, or else you'll be disqualified.
Good people of the Imperial City, welcome alive.
Oh, that was delayed. 50 hand-to-hand. Our power attacks now have a slight chance to disarm our opponents, and our fists can now hit creatures immune to physical attacks. Back to Sanctor. What an exciting battle. That training montage was invaluable. Alright, so the ghosts are just a nuisance. Our true targets are the 4 undead blades. Because Sanctor is where Tiber Septim received the blessing of Akatosh, allegedly, the blades had built a shrine in the catacombs and began making pilgrimages here. But sometime later, the Underking, the very same Underking that Chipmunk helped out when he got sent back in time, maybe. Because now that I'm thinking about it, well, okay, so Sanctor was cursed by the Underking, right? That's what we're told. But the Underking, back in Daggerfall, sends you on a quest to get a cursed item away from the blades because he doesn't want the blades to suffer the consequences of using said cursed item. The Underking now allegedly cursed the blades. The Underking then didn't want to curse the blades. But the Underking now was then or further back than the Underking then. So, Sanctor was cursed before... You know what? Never mind. The Underking corrupted the fortress, prompting the then Grandmaster of the Blades to seal the place, leaving the fates of the 4 blades that remain behind a mystery. We don't gotta know why the spirits are trapped in the skeletons. All we gotta know is that to open the pathway to the armor of Tiber Septim, we must punch the ghosts out of 4 skeletons. Knocked his block right off. So that's what it looks like when you disarm an enemy with a power attack. If Chipmunk were fast enough, he could have looted the sword off the ground before the skeleton picked it up, leaving it weaponless. Can Oblivion skeletons punch? I don't think I've ever actually seen one without a weapon. Ah, purifying flames. 1 skelly remains. What is it fighting?
Look out!
Alright. That's our 4th and final skeleton. Wait. What is this Blair Witch shit? We return to the dungeon's antechamber, enter the shrine, and watch the ghosts kneel in front of the cold wind barrier stuff. But one of the ghosts is missing. Ah, here he is. He was just a bit slow. Let's get this armor back to Martin. With the god blood sorted, Martin would now like us to fetch a greater welkin stone from the Iliad ruins of Miskarkand. Ignore the fact that there's clearly one right there right now. And the red orb, that's something else. That's spoilers. Don't worry about it. To Miskarkand. The Bitterfish Goblin tribe you find here at Miskarkand isn't actually a real tribe, per se. You never find a war chief. There's no standard bearing their symbols, and the appearance of shamans is not guaranteed. I like to think it's because Miskarkand has a strange pull on tribeless goblins, or goblins who've been exiled, or perhaps goblins who are the sole survivors of a great war. Maybe it's due to the Great Welkin Stone itself. Perhaps there are similar fonts of power on the Somerset Isles, the original homeland of the goblins, and the power from these fonts make them feel safe. Something instinctual draws them here. Or maybe it's because the goblin word Mizkark, meaning homeland, is erroneously conflated with the word Miskarkand. As such, legends spread among the goblins that Miskarkand is a kind of ancestral land for their people. Mizkark that's not a goblin word, I lied to you. Like Oblivion Gates, Iliad Ruins are much less of a slog in the remaster, mostly because the zombies are no longer brick walls. Fighting them doesn't feel like a waste of time. Normally I'd just book it through this place and hope none of the zombos actually catch up to me. They always do, but I still like to try. Haha, stupid. Oh, they swipe at you. The Great Welkin Stone. But oh no, looting the stone awakens the king of Miskarkand. He looks like he needs a big wet kiss. By the way, what is the fine here in Cyrodiil for necrophilia? The ritual Martin's preparing needed the blood of a Daedra and its counterpart, the blood of an Aedra. Likewise, he needs a counterpart for the Great Welkin Stone, a Great Sigil Stone. We gotta let the Mythic Dawn open up a Great Oblivion Gate. How convenient that that's exactly what they were planning on doing anyway. Why else do you think Martin's all done up looking sharp as a slice of cheddar? Sharp cheddar, specifically, if that wasn't implied. This is the thing he needs us to get from the Great Oblivion Gate. This here isn't the real thing. This is a 1-to-1 scale model. Is it a scale model if it's 1-to-1? It's not really scale at that point. This is just a model. Take it away, Marty.
Soldiers of Cyrodiil, the Empire.
Oh my god, these two motherfuckers. Will you be serious for once? So you know how different Daedric princes can have their own kinds of lesser Daedra? Is it not fair to say that the divines, the Aedric princes perhaps, can have lesser Aedra? Dragons are a lesser Aedra of Akatosh. No? Do other divines have their own lesser Aedroth? Probably. Can a lesser Aedra be corrupted by extended exposure to Patamaic essence? To Daedric magics? What I'm getting at is that Flame Atronachs are the corrupted lesser Aedra of Dibella. Oh, sorry Martin. I thought you were attacking Boris. Whoa, the NPCs are running out of frames. Good luck, everyone. Oh, dang it, I said they weren't gonna... I didn't think they were actually gonna use a drill. We got about 20 minutes to get the Great Sigil Stone out of this place. Otherwise, the drill will drill through Bruma's drillable walls. Fortunately, we have no restrictions on acrobatics, so we could take some clever shortcuts. And that's for the best, because the Fadenaz are super tanky. I know I said the remaster made combat feel like less of a slog, but these guys are still pretty annoying to deal with. It could mostly be because my hand-to-hand level isn't that high, so I'm not doing a huge amount of damage. Pair that with their high armor, and they're gonna eat a lot of hits. Instead of fighting these guys, we'll run out onto the bridge and hop around to the other one. I can't imagine Oblivion's NPCs being smart enough to go through 2 loading screens to get to us. It would be wise for me to heal, we do have some health potions, but I like to save them until the very last minute. I don't want to drink a potion and then take no damage for the rest of the fight, effectively wasting the potion. Normally, I'd rest between fights for free heals, but because there's a time limit, we're not actually allowed to wait inside this Oblivion gate. The drill isn't going to stop just because we did. That's one way to deal with them. Normally you have to pull levers and whatnot to open these gates, but Monkadabella. Baby. I regret Dark Soulsing my way through this tower. Too many enemies tailing me. Wait! Environmental damage! Nice. Now the other guy. Oh. Mon Dieu. Rather than sprinting past these fellas, let's actually take them out. That's one. Damn it. Let's try that again. One goes over, and the other one just dies. This one seemed to have much less health. Not that I'm complaining. Why is the Sigil Keeper invisible? Ring of Shadows. 25% chameleon. Why not? Maybe that whole jump down to leave the gate faster thing only works in the Great Gate. What? Menacing. But I'll be right back, I gotta do something real quick. We take a nap and ascend to lucky level 13, getting 100 strength. Into the Hell Portal we go! Oh, butts. We should have repaired the bands of Quang Lao first. We're gonna have to take them off partway through this dungeon, and we won't be able to put them back on, because they're broken. Oh well. What a time to get 75 alteration. We may now cast expert level alteration spells, unlocking a new shield variant called Shield. It grants 40% shield for 30 seconds. These are the Ice Atronachs, if you hadn't seen them yet. Pretty similar to the original, except they've now got tiny little speedos. To progress deeper into Paradise, we need to wear the Bands of the Chosen, which are currently in the possession of this Dremora, Cathutet. He offers us a quest in exchange for the gloves, and after accepting the quest, we beat him to death. Daedroth. I'm usually a much lower level when I get to this part of the quest. I never see anything stronger than a clan fear. This shield spell is amazing. We're wearing no armor, except the broken Bands of the Chosen, and we're still shrugging off attacks like it's nothing. Maybe Adept is too easy, but I think the shield spell is just really good. Adept is certainly more fun.
The truth has been in front of you since you first were born. The Daedra are the true gods of this universe. Julianos.
You wear the bands.
Yes, Cave Wall, I do. Eldamil wants us to do this whole pretend to be a prisoner thing. Chipmunk ain't got the time. He's got an appointment with a high elf that's got too many teeth. How simple. Eldamil takes off our bands, and we go on our way. He will be tagging along, however. He's a good meat shield. There's some spider Daedra up ahead. Daedroth, spider Daedra, another Daedroth in the distance. Shit. New strat. Book it.
In your coming, I hear the footsteps of fate. You are the last
Move, sexy spider lady. The new Zivilai looks dope. Oh, more clan fear. Gonna keep running. Ooh, I just realized I think the shield spell effect is glitching. It's supposed to fade away, but now there's this weird double face, and my fingers look like balloons. Oh, I lost my balloon fingers. Raven Cameron always drops an enchanted ring. The kind of ring is dependent on your level. At level 22, the ring is always the mundane ring. Reflect spell 35%, resist magic 50%. It's an amazing ring, and it makes Bretons immune to all magic. We're not level 22 though, so he just drops a fire resistance ring, similar to what he drops back in the sewer. I've been waiting a long time to do this, Cameron. Mwah.
Only the chosen will survive. Dagon will walk Tamriel again. A time of cleansing is over. Fate chose you well.
Quit healing, you punk! Hey, wait a minute. Why can he wear the Amulet of Kings? Does Mankar Cameron have dragon blood? Or can anyone of royal blood wear the amulet? Well, now his blood is dead. Martin, I retrieved the amulet. Oh, sorry. Joffrey? Oblivion. All that's left to do is escort Martin, our sentient bag of dragon blood, to Chancellor Arcado in the Imperial City. He did not age well. I love how unsettling all the elves are now. Dunmer are sinister, Bosmer look unhinged, Altmer are creepy, the orcs are scary. It's great. The final stretch. Getting Martin to the Temple of the One where he'll relight the dragon fires. But the Mythic Dawn is also making their final push on the city. Why they didn't do this while we were futzing around in the arena is anyone's guess. Oh, look at this lighting. Whoa, Marty. Everyone playing this game is over 30. We can't spin around like that anymore.
I do what I must do.
Take it away, Martin. Do whatever it is you're planning on doing. Chipmunk, you've saved the world once again. How did Tamriel ever get on without you?
What happened?
Huh.